Thank you for tuning in to the Wendy Inspire channel and for joining our Happy BME Village where everyone belongs. So no matter who you are, how you are, or what you are, you're safe here with us here in our Happy BME Village. Alright guys, I am just chilling on my couch this weekend. It is so beautiful out. The birds are just really chirping and the temperature is actually really perfect. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, and the humidity count is just right. Today I have a special guest which I am going to conference in via iPhone who wants to share something or a little bit about domestic violence. So I am going to call our friend Miss Robin right now. And we're going to chit chat and we're going to share our chit chat with you. All right.
Hello.
Hello, Robin. You are tuned in to the Wendy Inspire channel. Say hello to the villagers.
Hello, villagers.
So I actually told them that I was going to call you and that you wanted to chit chat a little bit about domestic violence. So I really appreciate you joining us via iPhone and talking about something that is not often spoken about. So when we talked offline, I was just really excited that you were willing to share some feedback about domestic violence. So really excited about that. So my first question for you is, what is domestic violence to you? How would you define domestic violence?
I guess my quick definition of domestic violence would be like violence or aggressive behavior in the home, typically like involving two people. It doesn't, of course, in these days, we can't limit that to just being domestic violence between a heterosexual couple, meaning a male versus female or female versus male. There's domestic violence happening all over, and different couples who are experiencing domestic violence. So that's just a quick general definition of domestic violence. Of course, I'm sure it can go a little bit deeper than that, but just like to give you a quick overview of domestic violence. It's just violent or aggressive behavior. It doesn't, well, most of the time it starts in the home, and I think the reason why they use home as an example is just like that's a base of where domestic violence happens, and that it affects your home. It affects the home base. That's my quick definition of it.
Okay, so would you say domestic violence, so you were talking about it's in the home, and it doesn't necessarily have to be just between a woman and a man or a man and a woman. It could be between any type of partnership. Would you say that it's only, and you had said that it's not necessarily in the home, but it affects the home, so that's where the word domestic comes from?
Correct.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing that, because on occasions, people feel like domestic violence is a man putting their hands on a woman. But people don't always talk about a woman putting their hands on a man, or a man, or a woman. So thank you for kind of opening our minds a little bit about what domestic violence can look like.
Yes, absolutely. I had an experience with a really close friend, and I consider him to be my brother, who recently, unfortunately, passed. And even though it was not exposed as domestic violence, from me looking on the outside in, or from me knowing what happened on the inside out from family members, it was definitely proven to be a domestic violence situation. And that touched home for me, because I know that a lot of people, particularly men who deal with domestic violence, they don't speak out about it often. And when they do, they're laughed at, they're ridiculed, they're made fun of, it's made joke of, even between their other male counterparts. i.e. their best friends, their friends that are in their circle, or their male associates that they hang around, make joke of it. I recently had a conversation with law enforcement in reference to males coming in, the stats on males coming in to report domestic violence, and they told me that it's very low. And I said, well, why do you think it's low? And, the officer said, well, for one, it's still considered to be something that they don't really want to come out and say because they're ashamed, or they feel like they're going to be laughed at, or they feel like it's hard to really say, oh, this female punched me, or this female is hitting on me, and I can't control her. I can't do anything about it. And a lot of times men feel like they have to be the stronger person or the stronger spouse, because that stigma is put on men, that men have to be stronger, and they can't tell that they're dealing with something like this. And so there's like a stigma on men coming out and speaking out about being abused, and they're being abused just as much as women are being abused, and they just don't speak out about it. And that goes for a heterosexual male or a male-to-male relationship. They just don't speak out much about it as much as females would.
And thank you so much for kind of sharing some details about that. I know it took some courage for you to share that, up close and personal, a situation that you feel may be that. So I really appreciate you kind of shedding some light on it, because you're right. I mean, I very seldom hear about a male being abused by anyone else. I know it happens, but I very seldom hear about it. So I thank you for even sharing that, because hopefully someone watching it will feel inspired or even empowered to raise their hand and say, hey, this is what's going on, because it is absolutely not okay for anyone to beat on anyone, regardless of the sex. So another question that I would ask you, since you had a relationship with someone, a friendship with someone that experienced it, do you think that maybe there are some signs that may be ignored? So let's say either a man or a woman is being abused, and either whether it's a man or whether it's a woman, they're not comfortable speaking out. Are there any specific signs that maybe you can help us with, specific signs that maybe we can look out for if we might feel that someone we care about is being abused, but we can't really put our finger on it, and when we have a conversation about it, they're not really comfortable talking about it, but you kind of feel like something's off? Do you know of any signs that we might be able to look out for if we think someone is being abused?
Absolutely. I would first say isolation is one of the big things. When someone is in a domestic violence relationship, a lot of times what we consider to be the aggressor, the person that is the one either hitting or the one that is the more violent in the situation, that is the one who will probably try to isolate the other partner. So they will probably, in most cases, I would say, they will try to isolate them from family, isolate them from close friends who they trust, who they know would see these signs right away and try to warn them that something's not right. Sometimes the friends or the family members who are close to that person who is being abused may not know the red flag signs, but they'll say, something's not right. I don't feel comfortable around this person. I don't feel comfortable with you being with this person alone. Or in the beginning, when I first met them, they were really sweet and kind. But I noticed that it went from us double dating to this person not wanting us to double date anymore. Or so a lot of times they will definitely try to isolate the other person. And that, I don't know exactly. I can't say exactly why, because it could be different reasons why they're trying to isolate. It could be because they did abuse them already and they may see scars, or and if you're around your family all the time, I'm like, you're going to notice a black eye. If I just saw you yesterday and we were hanging out and, we went to the movies together, and then 3 days from then, I see you again, I'm going to know, like, hey, this that black eye 3 days ago, what's going on? So that's one of the major reasons that I believe isolated, because if you're isolated, you can't really talk to anybody. You can't tell anybody anything, and you won't have to explain anything if you're isolated. So it's not rare to see people move out of the state, move out of the country, when they're with somebody, and they'll in the beginning make it seem extremely normal. Like, oh, he got a job in Nebraska, and you're from Philadelphia. And it's not that they didn't legitimately get a job, but that they purposely applied for those jobs in other states so that they could move you away from your family.
Wow, isolation. So the abuser can sometimes isolate the victim, but sometimes I believe the victim can isolate themselves. Why do you think the victim may choose to isolate themselves?
For some of those same reasons, knowing, so I don't know if you've ever heard the terminology, is like, what goes on in my home stays in my home, or don't tell people what's happening in your home. A lot of people, they stick strong to tradition and religion, and they might isolate themselves because if they're ashamed. They may isolate themselves because they know that if they tell you bad things about their husband or their spouse, that you'll now look at them in a different light when it comes time, Thanksgiving dinner comes around, or, Easter Sunday comes around, when family does traditionally get together. You'll look at that individual with a side eye, or like, oh, she told me that you guys got in an argument, you slapped her. So they isolate themselves to protect their loved ones, to protect their spouse or their husband or whomever they're with, or their partner. They want to protect them from the family member, from ridiculing them, from talking bad about them, from looking at them funny. So that's some of the reasons, and there could be many other reasons why they isolate themselves, but that's just some of the reasons why they isolate themselves, and then so that they don't have to speak about it, and of course they hide their scars, they put makeup on, they wear shades and sunglasses, they wear turtlenecks to hide any bruises on their necks and their arms. So many things that the victim or the person that's being abused will do to hide themselves from the world, from their family, from their friends, from their coworkers.
And what type of advice would you give someone who might be in a situation, whether it's a male or a female, if they are in a domestic violence situation, an abusive situation, even if it's physical or verbal, because most times when people think about domestic violence, they think about, someone is putting their hands on someone. But another form of domestic violence is verbal abuse. And I personally believe verbal abuse is even worse than physical abuse, because now they're both bad, but in my opinion, I feel like it's even worse because many times you can't see the scars. So if it's physical, if someone puts their hands on you, you can see a scar. And if you can see a scar, there's more people who might be able to help you get help if they also see that scar. Now, when it comes to verbal abuse, there's no scars that you can visibly see. You don't have to necessarily wear a turtleneck or sunglasses if you're being verbally abused. What do you think triggers verbal abuse?
So my mother is a victim of domestic violence, and she endured not only physical violence, but she also endured spiritual, emotional, financial, all kinds of domestic violence that is out there, all kinds of abuse that is out there, so many different types of abuse. I would say for anyone out there that is dealing with the verbal or the type of violence or abuse that is not physical, I would say that, I'm sorry, were you asking me what are some of the signs, or were you asking me what they need to?
So both. So what are some of the signs that it's verbal? And then in closing, we can talk about what are some things that they can do, whether it is verbal or physical.
Okay. So, I think I know what your question, sorry. Your question was basically, what triggers that person verbally. So I would say past trauma. One thing that we found in stats, and when I say statistically, I mean statistics. You know, reports have been done on domestic violence, the abuser as well as the victims. And it's past trauma for both sides. So it's past trauma for the person who is the abuser. A lot of times when you have someone who is verbally, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially abusive, they have been abused themselves. Or they have witnessed abuse in their past. Meaning, I would not be extremely shocked to find out that an abuser's father or mother was also abusive. And they watched it as a child. They watched these different signs. So as they grew up, they've seen it, and then they begin to enact it. And so a lot of times it's the past trauma that makes them that way. They saw somewhere in their line, in their background, they saw this happening, and then they begin to become what they saw.
Got it. Wow. They began to become what they saw. So I definitely want to go back to that, because something that I've always wanted to know, and this is, I wanted to know for myself personally, because I witnessed a lot of different things in my life, and I never understood what is it that causes. So in my mind, and of course help me understand a little bit more. In my mind, if someone was a victim, so let's say someone was abused or beaten, and they know what that feels like, they know the pain, they know the hardship, they know all the turmoil that goes through, that entails, because they personally experienced it. What causes them to do it to someone else if they know how painful it is? Would it not kind of make them want to maybe be an advocate or protect somebody experiencing it versus them actually doing something that they know is very painful?
That's a great question. You know a little bit of my background in social services, as well as a case manager and dealing with a lot of social workers. My major is criminal justice, so I got a little bit of background on why people think certain ways and why their mind kind of drifts and shifts to do certain things. And I think that the reason why someone who has, because I consider them victims as well, and that's why it's hard for me to use the terminology one-mindedness, meaning like the person who's the abuser and the other person is victim, because I consider
they're both victims. Yep.
They're both victims. And so I hate to kind of, that's why I wish I could figure out a better word to use, because I don't want to say one side is a victim and one side is the abuser, because it can also flip-flop. And if you go into these trainings and you've heard this lingo, you'll understand what I mean by flip-flopping, and we can talk about that as well. But one of the reasons why I truly believe that the victim, or the person who later on abuses, who at one point was a victim of it because they witnessed it, they saw it, and maybe even abused a little bit themselves in the midst of the domestic violence that they saw in the home. I think it's because we have to heal from everything that we've been through. And we have to know that we need healing from everything that we've been through in our past. When it comes to past trauma, past domestic violence, of seeing it, of being a part of it. And I think that the reason why they can't become an advocate is because they have to heal from it first. They have to recognize it. They have to know that this happened. They have to be able to admit it, and then they have to get healing from it. And in the quote-unquote African American community or Black American community, we always look down on therapists and seeing a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and sometimes it's needed. Sometimes therapy and counseling is needed. And I think that it's not always our fault, but I think that once we do hear about how we can seek out help from past traumas, I think that we actually need to take the steps to figuring out how we can heal from those things in order for us not to fall into the traps of becoming an abuser.
Wow. Oh my goodness, you said so much, and it was all so powerful as far as, and I really appreciate you saying that, as far as one's not a perpetrator and one's a victim. So I really, because you're right, they're both people who experienced trauma or challenge, because I personally don't even like the name or the word victim. But I feel like we use different words just to kind of identify people, so the people who are watching or listening, they understand where we're coming from. But I do appreciate you kind of clarifying and helping us to better understand. Something else that you said that is still resonating as far as needing help, and as far as people feeling like, or people frowning on therapists or psychologists or having someone to talk to. I totally agree with what you said. It's okay. It's okay to get help. It's okay to talk to someone. It's okay to share some of your challenges with someone that might have a little bit more experiences. And on top of that, sometimes people even feel a little bit more comfortable speaking to a complete stranger, because we know that that stranger isn't really judging you, because they've seen a lot of other people with similar stories and they don't carry the same weight as a family member. Perfect example. If you're going through, a challenging time, and you tell your best friend, your spouse, your mother, or your father, chances are they are now stressed out, or they're now feeling that emotion with you. So sometimes we hold back our emotions because we don't want to stress somebody else out, or we don't want to weigh someone else out, or in our mind we feel like we're being a burden to someone. But I really appreciate you saying that it is in fact okay to get help. It is in fact okay to talk to someone. It is in fact okay to seek medical professionals, or whatever you can do, or whatever you need to get some help. And in closing, Robin, what other things do you think we can apply, utilize, or take advantage of if someone is going through a situation? If someone right here, right now is watching this video, whether they're a male or a female or anything else in between, that's going through some sort of domestic violence, domestic abuse, whether it's verbal, whether it's physical, whether it's spiritual, whether it's emotional, what advice or what help would you recommend they either seek, or what words of encouragement can you offer? Because I know that someone is going to watch this video, and my hope is they'll either be able to take something from it for themselves, or they'll be able to share this video with someone else, and whomever else watches it can take something from it. That is what our Happy BME Village is all about. It's about us learning and growing together. It's about us sharing best practices, and it's about us being very authentic, being transparent, and talking about things that not everybody talks about. So what type of advice would you give someone who may be going through, or may know someone that is going through a domestic violence situation?
Yes, Lindsay, thank you for adding that. Resources are very important, and I would say I can mention some resources, which I will, and I will give out some numbers that can be called. Everyone has different faith base. Everyone has different things that they do, but I think that it is very, very important that along with that faith base, along with praying and having faith and reaching out to your maybe your bishop or your pastor, or someone designated at your church that deals with these types of things. They may be a designated social worker at your church, or if you're in a masjid, an imam, or someone that you could go to. I will also say reach out to the hotlines that they have set up. Reach out to there's a national domestic violence hotline, and the number for that would be 1-800-799-7233. That can be Googled online, but that is the number that you can call if you do have any domestic violence issues going on and you just want to talk to someone. That is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, non-stop hotline number that can be reached at any time to speak with somebody. I think that that's extremely important. If you are in the Philadelphia area, there are some places where you can go. One is Lutheran Settlement House for women. I think that's for women or men, but these are for someone who is being abused. And something very, very, very great that I think that a lot of people don't know about is they also have a place for them. Now, again, we're just using these terminologies so you know the difference. For someone who is considered to be the quote-unquote abuser, there is a place called Menergy. And what they do is they basically speak to that person and ask questions and counsel them on how did you become this way? What happened? And I shouldn't use that terminology, how did you become this way, but what led because Menergy has actually come up with this theory that they are victims, and that's why I also I don't like to use that terminology, abuser or victim, because I just use it for, again, just
so we understand, yeah. And again, I appreciate you saying that, because it's very, very important that we're clear, because the people who are inflicting doesn't necessarily mean that they are the abuser, because as you stated earlier, they may have gone through something that caused it to show in their behavior. So I would say whether you are the person that is doing it or the person who's receiving it, there is absolutely positively help for you. Can you please share that number again, Robin?
Sure. So, which one? I'm sorry, the hotline or the Menergy number?
The hotline is for everyone, right? And the Menergy is the Philadelphia area only. So can you please share the hotline, because people from all over are watching this video. So we definitely want to first give the hotline for everyone, and then we'll go ahead and we'll back up and we'll provide additional information for Philly.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
I'm getting that number for you. I did not write that number down.
No worries.
So the National Domestic Violence Hotline number, that would be 1-800-799. 799-7233. So that's 1-800-799-7233. That's the National Domestic Violence Hotline number. Anyone can call that number anywhere that you are, anywhere that you live.
Perfect. Now, you also mentioned Menergy. Do you have a number or any additional information for Menergy? And that is for the people who may be the person who is inflicting or the person who is demonstrating certain behaviors, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so Menergy is normal. Their normal business hours would be Monday through Friday.
Okay.
I think so. Online it tells us that they are open from 9 a.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. This is a number that I will call ahead of time if you plan to go in, just so that they are aware that you're coming and they can set an appointment. 215-242-2235, and that is located in Philadelphia, 2000 Hamilton Street, Suite 304, Philadelphia, PA 19130.
Awesome. I look forward to people watching this video and just being inspired, being encouraged, and being blessed, because that's what the Happy BME Village is all about. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Wendy Inspire channel and for joining our Happy BME Village, where everyone belongs. So no matter who you are, how you are, or what you are, you're safe here with us, here in our Happy BME Village. All right, Robin, let's say bye to the villagers. Bye!
Bye, villagers!
All right, guys, have a great day.